Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of November 11th, 2020. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. To those of you who've served, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate it greatly, even though sometimes it might not show in some of the policies and all this stuff. But to those military people out there, veterans and active duty, thank you very much for your service. Let's get right into it. First up, we have American Vampire 1976, number 2, by Scott Snyder, with art by Raphael Albuquerque. And man, it's good to have American Vampire back. It's an amazing series. I've loved it since it's at the beginning. Even though I wasn't necessarily the biggest Stephen King fan, I gave it a try, and Scott Snyder knocked it out of the park and kept going with it, even though Stephen King, was off the book. Yeah, so really it's good stuff. If you haven't read the American Vampire stuff, track that stuff down. Hopefully DC has made it at least easily available for you to find it and potentially read it for yourself. So, American Vampire, check it out. Next up, we have Dark Knight's Death Metal Infinite Hour Exxxtreme. I have no idea what's going to happen in this book. Metal has had a ton of one-shots. And they're getting a little excessive, I think, with how many one-shots this series has had. I almost wish it was a 12-issue miniseries at this point versus a 7-issue main series with however many one-shots they've been doing. Not to say that the one-shots have been bad. They've all been really good. But there's a point where it starts to get excessive. And I think that they're there, even though they didn't do as many tie-ins. Justice League is the only book that's tying in directly with Dark Knight's Death Metal, because with Metal it was Green Arrow, Suicide Squad, Teen Titans, Nightwing, Justice League, and I think there's possibly another one, but I forget. So that a lot more had crossover stuff. This time they're not doing that. They're only doing Justice League crossover stuff, where there's a contained story within Justice League. But yeah, there's a point where there might be a little too many one-shots with this. So I think we're getting there. But we'll see how Infinite Hour Exxxtreme is. So can't wait. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 1030. Mir is going to be doing something. In Detective, it appears he's, Batman's taking on the Mirror. And in Batman, he's taking on Ghostmaker. So there's kind of these new villains that are coming out of the woodwork after Batman 100. And also we have Clown Hunter is a new one on the scene. So it seems like we have a lot of new people and a lot of new blood trying to get into a spot on Batman's Rogues Gallery that is at least above Condiment King and maybe the Pharaoh. So we'll see. Not that those guys are bad, but we all know they're just comic relief. Next up, we have Flash, number 765. Flash has been okay since Williamson's been off. The fill-in stuff has been good. Curious to see if we get another creative team on here that's going to carry Flash for a long period of time, or if we're going to get kind of these smaller Flash stories, these fill-in stories. So we'll see what happens with the Flash. But it hasn't just careened off and been a book that is completely abysmal after Justin Williamson. There's that. We have to look forward to. Next up is a final issue in a series. That's Hawkman number 29. We're going to see what happens with Hawkman and Hawkgirl, especially with now that they don't regenerate. And so I'm really curious to see how that pans out. I liked that they had that regeneration kind of thing, that they kept coming back, and Hawkman, Vendetti established in Hawkman that they came back across time and across worlds and all that stuff. So I'm really curious to see where Hawkman goes after this. If they keep that, they don't regenerate as a permanent change. I doubt that they will, but who knows? And of course, they could have made this change. They could die at this end of this issue, and guess what? Dark Knight's Death Metal changes everything. Future State changes everything, and Hawkman's back in some semblance, in some fashion, the way he was after February or March. Yeah. Next up, we have Oblivion Song number 28, Robert Kirkman's book from Image, and yeah, it's enjoyable. I think once Robert Kirkman found the time jump mechanic in storytelling with Walking Dead, he just decided to use it for everything. Oblivion Song's 28 issues spans, I think, 6 years now. There's a couple of time jumps in there that are a little rough that take place, but it's overall a really good series. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend it. Next up is a one-shot from DC. It's a new character. It's a character people are talking about. It's also a character that Harley refers to, I believe, as Punchface, and that is Punchline. Gets her own one-shot coming out of the Joker War stuff. This one is written by Tyrion the Fourth, so it's cool to see. It says John's on here, so I don't think it's that John's. What do we got? Where's the... There we go. Sam Johns. So Sam Johns is writing it, not Jeff Johns. Let's clarify. So if you're curious about the Punchline character, I would highly recommend checking this issue out. There'll be more Punchline to come in the stack here. I'm curious to see what it's all about. If it's kind of an origin story, I think that's pretty cool to just throw it out there as a one shot, get it done. And again, she's another one of those people that's vying for a Rogues Gallery position in the new Batman's Rogues Gallery, but also as Joker's girlfriend. So she has 2 hills to climb. Yeah. Next up, we have Raw number 9. Valiant's just... They've come to a trickle. I don't even know what's going on with that publishing company. COVID seems to have all but killed most of their output that's coming out. They have solicited stuff, but it's not coming out at all. Exo Manowar had dropped right before COVID, and then we still have yet to get another issue of that. We'll see, but yeah, things might be looking sour for Valiant Books, and they were doing such a good job. They were a very, very solid company coming back like a handful of years ago when they decided to when somebody bought it and decided to bring it back, and it's been a really good publishing company. Good material, solid stuff. It's the only other shared universe in the comic book industry that isn't Marvel or DC, and it's the same self-contained universe. So there's other smaller ones, but this one was the third biggest, I would say. Next up, we have 7 Secrets number 4. I decided to get the Jenny Friesen cover here. There is a Virgin variant of this that I might pick up if we still have it after this week. If we don't, oh well. But yeah, 7 Secrets is good. I'm enjoying it. Tom Taylor is doing a fantastic job. His 7 Secrets is good. Deceased is good. He's just knocking it out of the park with what he's doing now. And I think he's setting himself up to be a good, just a solid addition to any publishing company that decides that they want to employ him. Who knows if he's going to go over to Marvel, or I don't know what the contracts are that he has with DC, but we'll see. Next up, we have Superman at number 27. This cover screamed to me of the covers back in the day of just that all black cover, and it's sad, and there's a death, or it's mourning, and all that stuff. So it caught me. The cover caught me. It gave me a throwback to a feeling of younger age when those issues, some of those older issues had that all black cover. Next up, we have one by Al Ewing, and that is We Only Find Them When They're Dead at number 3. This has been a really solid series so far with 2 issues in. I can't wait to read the 3rd. I enjoy it. You should check it out. If not, if you haven't yet. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 766. Why does Wonder Woman keep going blind? That's one of the things I always notice about Wonder Woman stories. At one point in time, it seems that they have to make her blind. I have no idea why that is. So we'll see. But not to knock on Tamaki's writing ability, but it seems like they do that a lot. So that's it for my pull list. Actually, the titles that I pick up. I did get variant covers, so let's get into those. American Vampire had a very 1976-ish variant there that I decided to pick up. I did pick up the Detective Comics variant, the Libermejo variant. It looked cool. I thought it was a decent pose. I was on the fence about it, but I eventually just pulled the trigger. Flash 765, grab the variant for that one. Punchline has a handful of variants, and pay attention to the last one because I'm going to be talking about that in a little more detail. Then the first one was the Frank Cho variant there, which there's apparently a sketch one that's not colored, so it's just a black and white cover. I did not get that one. There's a 1 in 25 cover, which they've been doing those for Batman, so they did one for Punchline there, so I snagged that one up. Punchline, of course, got a blank cover, which isn't really blank. It's kind of, there's stuff there. And finally, the last one. This is the Peach Momoko cover for the Team variant. The DC released 500 copies of this book, or of these books. There's 3 covers. This is one of them. We will be getting a couple. We're swapping with other stores to get a couple copies of the other ones. So yeah, so we'll be getting those soonish. But we got one of them. We got the Peach Momoko cover for Punchline. So this is the Team variant. So I snagged this one up, and I'm going to be snagging up the other 2 once we get them in, because yeah, those variant covers, man. You got to catch them all. Next up is a Tony Daniel cover for Superman at number 27. I thought it was really cool, so I snagged that one up. My son asked, why is Superman so evil in this? And I said, it's not really that he's evil, it's the lighting, and his eyes are up, and yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. He's not being evil there. I picked up the variant cover for We Only Find Them When They're Dead, issue 3. I thought it was pretty cool, so I snagged that one up. And, of course, the Wonder Woman 766 variant was awesome, so I picked that one up as well. That's it for what I took home on my pull list of individual issues. I did pick up a graphic novel that came out, and this is funny, that's going to tie in with something I'm going to show later. But it's the Teen Titans Roll With It for the kids. So Teen Titans is no longer, like, their digital, I think their digital only is coming out in this format, this chunkier format, which I think is a really, really smart move by DC. Release those chapters, get a whole bunch of them together, and then release these little digest-sized kids' books that fit perfectly for their bookshelves and so on and so forth. So yeah, so kind of a D&D Teen Titans Go. So super curious to check this out. Teen Titans Go has been fun. It's great for the kids. The TV show is fantastic. We haven't watched it too much here. We just don't really watch too much TV. We have been watching The Mandalorian, which everyone freaking out about Baby Yoda eating that lady's larva, or her eggs, needs to calm down, because probably a lot of them eat eggs too. And you know, if you were transporting a chicken, would you feel the same way? Seriously, he's eating what? They're unfertilized. Whatever. Okay, calm down. I mean, and besides, it's funny that, you know, he's getting in trouble for it. Anyway, people on the internet, man. I sometimes I don't miss being on Twitter, although I'm still not on Twitter. Twitter sucks. They take way too long to check appeals, probably because they screwed themselves with an algorithm. But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, so Teen Titans Go, we haven't really watched it, but maybe we'll check it out down the road. I'll pick up the Blu-ray copies of it, and my kids can watch it and binge it and all that fun stuff. I did pick up some special orders that came in, but these have been trickling in. So I may have showed you 1 or 2 of these already, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have so far. And that is the DC Superheroes Christmas Funko Pops. There are 6 of them. This is the Wonder Woman one. They have been trickling into the Comics Conspiracy. Instead of being all at once, they just kind of trickle in. Even though they were ordered at the same time, they're all trickling in. So we got the Wonder Woman one. I'm going to show you the back of this to see the rest of them here. So there you go. We've gotten 4 of them. Let me fix that for you guys right there. So we've gotten 4 of these. We have Wonder Woman, Flash, Joker, and Batman, and I'll show those to you in a second. So we still need Superman and Harley Quinn. Now, I am curious to see how long it takes. There's a train going by, so I apologize for that, but I live next to a train track. Here's the Batman with the like my kids say, the Scrooge pajamas. This is Batman, his Scrooge, which is pretty funny. We got the Joker here with he's got his little holiday stuff going on with his bomb with the little bow on it. And of course we got the Flash as a reindeer. So got that one there. These little Funko Pops, the Christmas ones are really cool. We have some of the Star Wars ones. We put them out around the house and the kids like it. I think it's a good way to kind of change up the theme, especially with your comic book merchandise. I do have like a Harley Quinn bombshell that's a Christmas version that I normally put out. I need to kind of overhaul my my bookcases and stuff like that. Kind of reset them a little. I know my background's had a few more statues in them. I actually rotated statues. And it was a lot more efficient, but since the move, I haven't been able to kind of get back into that. So I need to get that figured out. But my kids like them, so I got them all. So I'm curious to see which one comes next, the Superman one or the Harley one. And on top of that, I'm really curious to see if they come at the same time or if they come trickled in. Who knows? I did pick up a book. I know this is not a book thing, but I did pick up a book that just came out this week, and it's a Michael Connelly novel, The Law of Innocence. It's another book in the Lincoln Lawyer series of books by Michael Connelly. Amazon is doing the Bosch series, if you've checked that out. And the Lincoln Lawyer you would know from Matthew McConaughey's portrayal of the character in film. But I really enjoyed these books, Michael Connelly books. I've actually read most of his library of books. It's one of those things where I got into reading it as by accident. Somebody had bought me a copy of one of his books and given it to me, and I was kind of just like, why are you giving this to me? And then one day I just picked it up and started reading it and really enjoyed it, and then went and picked up another one, and it just snowballed from there. I have a collection of paperbacks from when I first started getting them to when I finally got caught up with his work to actually buying hardcovers. So I told my kids recently that they can get me hardcovers as special presents for birthdays or Christmas when they get older and they have more money. But I love Michael Connelly's murder mystery lawyer kind of books. They're fantastic. Can't wait to dive into this one. I'm currently, though, I did finish Beartown, which I enjoyed immensely. It's basically about a hockey team, and kind of something happens and it kind of tears the hockey team and the town apart and the club and all this stuff. But it's definitely a good read by Frederick Backman. It's this one right here. Yeah, so I do recommend that one. I know this is a comic book podcast, so why are you doing books and stuff? Hey, reading is reading. Get reading. Do reading. All of it. So I just started Star Wars Alphabet Squadron, and it's a very purple cover. So that's what I am on currently. And then once I finish this, I'll probably jump on either the sequel to Beartown, because I'm checking it out from a local library, or I'll hop onto the Michael Connelly Law of Innocence. So yeah. I was kind of impacted by a comic book last week, and this is going to influence the next thing I'm going to show you. So last week, Stranger Things and the Stranger Things D&D crossover book came out. And I read it, and it was very impactful, I guess, on me, in that it set up how these four kids kind of came together, and they came together playing Dungeons and Dragons. Three of them were friends already. I can't remember everybody's names right now. The one that goes to science camp and gets the girl in season 3. He's the one that's brought in as the fourth one. But they kind of all come together about, in playing this game, Dungeons and Dragons. And the book was very well written. And let me grab it real quick so I can show you guys which one it is. Yeah. So it's this one from last week. Stranger Things, Dungeons and Dragons. Quick side note, I have not yet been able to ask because I'm on Twitter, or I'm suspended from Twitter. But the book starts out here on September 8th. You can see that. Let me show you. It starts out on September 8th. of 1981. And then you read, and stuff happens, right? And all this stuff, and you're like, cool, right? All right, awesome. And then we get to the next down the road, and they're all together and they're all hanging out, but it's April 7th of 1981. I think this was a misprint. I think somebody needs to, like, if you're on Twitter or what, can you, I don't know, message Jody Houser and say, hey, is it supposed to be April of 1982? Because, yeah, that's kind of they're going backwards in time if they're going from September to April. But, yeah. But I read this, and it was a really cool story about people coming together to play D&D. I never played D&D as a kid. I really didn't have any friends that would be considered. You know, I always hang out. I was always the type of person that could hang out with any type of people. I could hang out with jocks. I could hang out with nerds. I could hang out with band people. I could hang out with all these different types of people. I never really had a group that I couldn't hang out with. But as a child, I didn't really have friends over very much. I was very, very isolated, even though I played sports. I did not have a group of friends that was over one or two, I think at most. And definitely did not hang out with them like I hung out, like you reading comic books or stories where there's multiple kids hanging out and all the time. And that's kind of gone away with technology, which is really sad. But it kind of sparked an interest in me to check out Dungeons and Dragons. And so I looked up some stuff and all that. And there was a thing going on at Target for the sale. And so I decided to, pick up Dungeons and Dragons, the starter set. And also the Essentials kit. Target was having a buy to get one free, and that applied to like toys and all that stuff, toys, movies, games, and all that. So I decided to snag these up. Also, they were like kind of on sale anyway, and so it wasn't too bad of a cost for them. So I definitely was kind of looking at it as something that potentially I could do with my kids, and see, because it's supposed to be cooperative and team building and all that stuff. So I think I'm going to give it a shot. But yeah, so my roommate actually does role playing. And so it's at least in the house now. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I'm going to probably be diving into some role playing here in a bit and see how that goes with my kids. Trying to parenting tricks, all that stuff. Stop looking at me funny. Go back to your thing and be quiet. So yeah, I also picked up notepads. So we have notepads if we need them during the thing. I don't know why. So it's funny that the Teen Titans Go book that came out is the roll with it, because I'm kind of trying to start doing this and seeing where that goes. So it's been a long pull list this week. Just like last week was a long week waiting for those results, but Biden finally clinched it. It was called on Saturday. So woohoo! Sigh of relief there. Cannot wait to see the new administration to come in and bring the country to where it needs to be in healing and coming together and all that stuff, but also moving us forward instead of backwards in policies. And I think it'll be a relief once we get out of all of this. Not to mention, it's really, as a parent to a little girl, it's really awesome to see Kamala Harris become the vice president, because now little girls across the world, and especially in America, have something to look up to and aspire to. So yeah, but yeah, so that's it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the comments section below. Yes, I did like Crossover from last week. It was pretty interesting. Pick up that Donny Cates issue 1. Comicsconspiracy.biz has plenty of copies. If you did not get a chance to order one, you can pick one up from us. We'll ship it out to you. I'm the one that does the shipping, so you know it's done right. Yeah. And what else? We did record the Comics Conspiracy Podcast episode 474. We're almost at 475. Woohoo! So close to 500. We'll hit 500 next year. Oh, man. You know what also happens next year? It's the 10-year anniversary of recording the Comics Conspiracy podcast. Man, 10 years of podcasting. Woo! It's like it just flew by. We talked about Batman 3 Jokers and answered some listener questions. So spoilers for Batman 3 Jokers in there. But yes, Batman 3 Jokers was amazing. It was fantastic. We did talk about how I think the delay in it coming out with, Rebirth, then Doomsday Clock, then that was delayed, and then 3 Jokers came out. Kind of hurt the story a bit, and not the clarification necessarily isn't there. So we'll see. But it really is really interesting, and it's also going to be interesting to see what happens with Dark Knight's Death Metal, as well as Future State, as where the DC universe is going to be after all of this. So we shall see. We need to read, and we need to enjoy it while we do it. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees and getting products. So thank you very much to all of our Patreon backers. It helps out in more ways than you can imagine, and thank you. You can help me out a little more directly by purchasing anything through an Amazon link here or at conspiratorbrock.com, as well as going over to my eBay page and checking out things that I'm getting rid of there and picking stuff up. I've actually started to try and sell some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, at least some stuff that it's easier to sell locally. So we'll see how that goes. But constantly got to revolve and get rid of this stuff and purge it and, all that fun stuff. I did want to mention that I heard from a customer at the shop, a really cool guy, that his daughter actually watches this video. So a shout out to the little Ildefonso out there who apparently likes watching my videos. Thank you. I do like hearing that people enjoy them and all that stuff. And to the big Ildefonso, send me a message on how she reacts if she freaks out. Okay, cool, awesome, love the internet. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm still suspended on Twitter, so we'll see if I get that back. If it's a month suspension, then tomorrow's the day that I should be able to get back, but I have no idea. They haven't responded to my appeal. And at Twitter support, you can't directly message them, or they say directly message us on Twitter, but I can't direct message on Twitter because they blocked my account from doing that. So who knows? So leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're picking up. Questions, comments, any little hints or tricks with D&D. I'm just wading in. I'm not diving in. So nothing too crazy. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Be safe out there. Happy Veterans Day, and I will see you next week.